Hello, Gabby's back.
Hi,
Yay! Welcome to VO Journey Academy. My name is Anthony,
I'm Gabby. I'm sort
and
of back. I'm
we're
sort of here.
you're back. We're voice actors, and it is so good to have you back with us. How
Yeah.
did everything go?
Surgery went well. All the things are doing and happening on schedule. Yeah, just recovery is frustrating for anything. So
Ugh,
that's just where I'm at.
I know it is the
Could
hardest.
be
I'm
worse.
so and the first week is the worst. The first week or two is the worst. So we're so happy to see you though,
Thank
and
you.
I've been pretty scatterbrained since you've been gone, but
Oh,
everybody has
oh,
been very wonderful, keeping me on point.
good job,
Um,
everybody.
and
Good job.
the craziest thing too is funny is you because I was said that you were rolling over somewhere. Listen, because I was going like 30-40 minutes because I just get talking. And I would look up and I mean like I gotta be like 40 minutes and I'm like, oh my gosh, Gabby would go crazy on
Wow,
me. I know,
Anthony. Oh my God, that's so funny.
I know. I just you know me. I don't like to
That's
talk or anything. So but anyways, it's great to have you back. So
yeah.
today we were looking at kind of diving into taxes. As fun as that conversation is,
Yeah,
we know how important it is,
it
right?
is. It is.
And that we are now right in the midst of it, right? I
Mhm,
mean, you can file your taxes now, and things are starting to go out. You're
mhm.
starting to get all of your,
Yep,
information from the different platforms, or people
yep.
are sending you, or you having to go. Especially if you've paid anybody, that's outside of, so
Mhm.
there's some interesting things here there. So I wanted to kind of dive into that and let voice actors would talk about what we need to do and things like that. We talked about taxes
Yeah. Oh, we
a
have.
little
We've
bit
talked about
before,
it before. Yeah.
but it's always good to dive in.
And it's that funny thing of the tax laws are always changing. Like my assistant was like, "Hey, do you want me to?" This was like 2 weeks ago. Where she was like, "Dina, do you want me to run the 1099 reports?" And I was like, "Yeah, but we have time." And she goes, "Well, till the 31st." And I went, "Huh?" Because it used to be March 15th. And so they've changed it. And I'm like, man, they just, yeah. So you always have to be up on the tax stuff or have people around you that are. But yes, the
Oh yeah.
same. Like every day I have the 1099s in the mailbox waiting for me. Um, and,
Hmm.
I find too that a lot of voice actors forget to 1099 people from their side of things, and forget to acknowledge what they've spent throughout the year and with who, and that's kind of a big deal. Definitely
Hmm.
something to take a peek at. And filing 1099s is pretty inexpensive, so there's really no reason not to. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. In some organizations like PayPal. So the
Mm.
one thing, people have varying opinions on PayPal, of course. But the one thing that I do like so much about PayPal is PayPal takes care of that.
Oh,
So if you pay through
now.
PayPal or you use stuff, you don't have to like it generates the reports for you.
No wonder you use the PayPal so
I
much.
love it because how
Okay.
many transactions we do, that is now. I do think that's what people do. There are some the fees are
Mhm.
inflated. I mean, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. They are
Yeah.
more on PayPal. But there's
Yeah.
benefit. I think there's benefits on my end too with how many transactions that we run
For
a month
sure.
is pretty nuts, right? I mean, we're running a lot of transactions.
It
So
is. I mean,
yes,
yeah. Especially
but
with
to each his
Academy
own.
Voices. Yours are kind of
Yeah,
extra nutty.
Academy voices are, yeah, because I'll go. I mean, it's just right now it's nuts. It's pretty crazy. Although it could be really. I mean, as we grow, which is
No.
exciting. You know what I mean. But anyways, the point is that don't wait, get going, rocking and rolling on your stuff. And I originally I wanted to get into this too to talk about as you're going through your taxes. One of the biggest mistakes I made early on, and I will be open with everyone here and say I didn't really fix this until the last year or two. And we had a good conversation about this earlier, Gabby, last year on the
Yeah.
show about how much you should be writing off for your
Oh, yeah.
business.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to, we're not tax, professionals,
No,
not
but
licensed.
no, but
Yeah.
I'm a write-off fiend,
Well,
man. I
that's
mean,
well,
yeah.
I think the problem. Okay, so I think I have a theory. I got a theory for everything. So my theory, the theory I have is that a lot of us, most of us, or a lot of us, we our adult life, a good portion of it was as an employee
Mm,
and for another company or
sure.
business. And you get trained in a way to
Mm,
look at, right, every, like, the all the tax stuff is taken care of your check. Like, if you file, if you're filing zero,
yeah.
comes out of your check, the business halves it. You might not even know that, but the business halves how much they pay for, like, social security and everything like
Right,
that,
right.
which is why we're, as single members or sole proprietors, we're called the double taxed
Mm-hmm.
people,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we have to pay both.
Yep.
Um, so that's why small businesses are the most taxed out of anybody. Anyways, I digress. The it So because of we're employees, we don't have this mindset of writing off anything, right? Like
Yeah.
saying, like, my phone is an expense,
Right.
my electricity is an expense, my home payment is an expense,
For sure.
my mileage is an expense. We just don't. Our food cost could be an expense. You don't think of all that stuff because it's
Yeah,
not
we
as an
don't.
employee.
No, we don't. We forget, and we forget, or we don't do a good enough job of educating ourselves. And I think I probably spent two 2 to 3 years of my life just questioning every purchase and questioning every dollar amount and going, could this be expense? Could this be expense? Could this be expense? And that's how I, kind of got into the right frame of mind there. And also, of course, switching everything over to a business bank account to make payments for transactions to be able to more swiftly import those into expenditure columns because yeah.
I agree, and I think the challenge also comes to us as because, you know, we're not. I'm gonna go on a limb for everyone.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna say that I assume, I know we are. We're all good people. And when I say that, meaning, like, we're all trying to do our best and not
Hmm.
scam the government or
Well,
whatever,
yeah, like yeah.
right? So because of that, I think a lot of times, and you add in the employee, we err on the side of, well,
Caution.
that's not an expense. I mean,
Yeah.
technically, I need that to live, though, too. That's not an expense for my business. And then what happens is you start, like, everything. Then
Mhm.
everything could not be an expense, and quite honestly, everything could be an expense.
Well,
And you have to consider that again. To me, just me personally, I learned that from the employee mindset, like, everything geared, like, leaned towards, it was separated, right? They
yeah.
weren't the same. But the business structure that the majority of us use, you
Uh-huh.
have to please everybody, kind of let this come together.
Yeah.
Business as a sole proprietor and a single member LLC, which is the majority, I think, of what we all use, though your business and you become almost one and the same,
Yeah.
because that's how that structure is utilized, right? Because your bank accounts, yes, you have a separate one, but the money can travel back and forth there, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I know I've mentioned it before. I had a friend who was in the IRS, and years ago, he used to actually do speaking engagements for some of my voice actor groups because he was such a valuable asset, in terms of helping people to understand not only where our tax dollars go, but, how
Yeah.
and what things we should and shouldn't do with our taxes. And he had a mantra that I've always lived by, and he said, ordinary and necessary. When an expense is ordinary and necessary to do your job, that's when you know it's expensible. I'll tell you something really funny that I noticed. I know it's such a silly thing, but you guys are used to us seeing us every day with our coffee cups, and my coffee consumption since the surgery has dropped to next to nothing. Okay.
Mm.
So it has become I'm very acutely aware of the fact that I'm like, oh, okay. And I expense my coffee, right? I expense those because the truth of the matter is that's my go juice. And if I have no go, right, like I'm sitting here convalescing, I don't drink it. I don't have a reason for it. And so that, makes
Absolutely.
me certainly feel a little bit better about putting it in the tax column.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
Those are the
absolutely.
things we pay attention to,
And here's another thing too, like although you could tell I need one, but haircuts, specific sort of things, a lot of
Yeah.
these things can go either way. Like you could talk to an accountant. So I would say the next thing, very important thing to do is, even though it is so not fun,
Mm.
is learn about you. You learn yourself
Yeah.
about what you can do, what you can't do, and you're going to get advice. But remember, in the end, it is your decision what you decide. I've learned a couple things go this past year. Also, you can write off up to 90% of certain things. Like at least you can write up to 90% off of like your phones.
Mm-hmm.
You can write up to 90% off of your electricity.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Virginia, my word, because we got like our electricity had doubled, and it had gotten bad because they'd been putting in all the data centers and they're doing a lot of stuff here. So like it's gotten and then they got the government allowed them Dominion Power. Anyways, who do you have? What power company do you have?
Duke.
You got Duke. Okay.
Yeah, it's Duke Power here.
Well, yeah, because you're you're North Carolina. Anyways, the point is that I didn't know these things until last year. And when you stop and you sit back and you actually look, just like you just said about the coffee.
Yeah.
And you know what bothered me? So you said you spent 2 or 3 years. What bothered me that got me into trying to figure more about this was I got really pissed at rich people. All right. And no, really, I did.
I get that.
Because I got pissed because I didn't understand how. So I took a different approach. Like everyone's made about like them not paying taxes.
Right.
I was trying to figure out how in the heck do they not paying taxes?
Right.
Like what are they doing that's illegal?
Yeah.
That they're not paying taxes, you know what I mean? And
we
all have our funny ways of getting into it.
I mean, they
pissed me off.
They turn everything into a business is the reality. Yeah. And they turn everything into a business expense legally. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But they are definitely loopholes. We have a couple of questions coming in. A comment that was good. One person said, it seems there was a cap on how much you could deduct for business when I last tried. Well, the cap is based on earnings, right? Because you can't expense what you haven't made. So that's the problem. It's a matter of funding and where does the money come from. Now, if you've had a loan.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, it's just a matter of, what was your starting capital? Did you have starting capital? Did you take out a loan? That sort of thing, because then you're offsetting against that. But the reality is if you don't have your expenses can't
they give you, I think they still give you 5 years.
Oh, the first 5 years. Yeah, for sure. The
first 5 years you can show a negative gain.
But there's still a margin. There's still a margin of what's allowed. Like, I don't know that's where an accountant's necessary. I don't know all the ins and outs of that, but there is like something that kind of.
Well, this will really chap your backside too. There's also multiple ways to do the accounting.
Oh, for sure.
But we're a very cash heavy business, right? Like we get cash, we're not,
we don't
some of the businesses we work with are 30, 60 days. But most of what we do is we get, pretty much we do a job and we get paid.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, so like we're not waiting, but there's also forms of accounting that are different in that sense too. That's why I did my stuff for the first 2 years. So that's another piece of advice. I had my stuff for the first 2 years, and then after the business grew more, I was like, I gotta have somebody. Because I got to the point where it's just too much for me to really understand what I didn't know.
Right. Yeah. Word of mouth guy says he's writing off his first VO conference, as you should. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Those are always big ones. All of it, the travel, everything related to it. Yeah. Write it off as much as you can.
And I would say we had this conversation. I mean, when you go, that's why remember you were talking about. I remember that you were like you and your husband went on vacation. Wasn't it Florida or something? And you were like, I have to go check out something, and you write off the trip. That's what people do. That's what they do, and that's why I'm trying to say we have to get that, or we have to wrap that around our heads, because if you don't do this, so think of it this way: you get $1,000, you make $1,000,
Right.
all right. You need to take about 30% of that. So you earn $700. The government gets about $300. All right.
Okay. That's
Now
a fair, yeah.
that's a fair thing as an employee.
Yeah.
Right. As a business owner, you make that $1,000. All right. And you spend $700 of that $1,000 on business expenses.
Mm-hmm.
Now you owe the government taxes on $300,
Mm-hmm.
not $1,000.
Right.
There is a huge difference, but a lot of us are still,
Yeah.
because we don't know, and we're new to this.
Yeah.
We're still treating it like that. We want to pay. We're paying taxes on that $1,000 and not the $300.
Right.
And again, we get double taxed, which means we'll pay more than a typical employee because employee gets to half it with their employee,
Yep.
with their employer. Excuse me.
Yep.
So that's an important. If you look at it that way, how can I write off more? I've tried to write off everything. I'll go to my people. I'll be like, I don't want to pay for my car. I want my car to be written off.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, Anthony, is there, there's like a certain percentage that you have to use your vehicle for business, I suppose. And I'm like, well, darn it. But you can, well, I'm going to, and then I got the idea. I'm going to put a wrap on my car marketing my business.
Oh my God.
And then they're like, okay, yeah, but you could do that. So don't be afraid to use your creativity. But they were like, you got to do X, Y, Z, and then you got to put in the business name.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you put in the business name, that's going to show how, where are you buying that from? And then here's the rub. If you assign, now you could assign, that is true. And maybe that's how you could do it. But a lot of times, like if you pay something, then they're like, if your business pays you for something, then it's like you have to say, where did you get that income from?
Right. Right.
Man, the government's ruthless.
I mean,
they find everything. But I'm saying at the same time, I found mileage. So you can do mileage.
Yes.
So like if you go somewhere, you go to a business lunch or dinner, you go to a conference, you go, you have to go get equipment, something, that's business related, you can do mileage.
Absolutely.
Not gas. That was one thing I learned. Not gas.
Not gas. Not unless it's travel. Not unless it's like out of
if you rent a car, then that whole thing's an expense.
Right.
This is interesting, right? It's like they want you to spend money through your business, and that was the point of it, right? The point is for you to spend money, right?
Yeah.
And they write off the tax, you write off. But that's why people like live. I was trying to figure out how these people live and get everything paid for. Like that's like it bothers me.
You're not alone in that. There's a lot of people who are bothered by taxes. I'm not saying I'm not bothered by it. I've just come to accept it. That's kind of where I am and all that. Because I don't know. I feel like I'm not going to fight that tidal wave.
It's more I'm bothered by like I don't understand how they're doing it because I want to do it. That's because like I'm tired of paying. Like we pay. That's weird. But we pay a lot in taxes, so that's why I wanted to have this conversation with everybody
for sure,
so that you understand is once you make this money, we want to pay our fair share, but at the same time keep as much as possible. Right. And I think that's a good way to go. We've got a couple other things in the hey, Angela's here. Hello, Angela. Angela. Good morning. Good to have you. All right, we had let's see.
George, goodness, yes, we do. Of course. Subscriptions anything that is a means by which of getting work, making money, or doing business is a subscription that you pay.
Because of you, Gabby, I went back last year and it was true and I learned that I could write off up to 90% of my Cox bill, we have Cox, that's our TV bill. Because all of those subscriptions that we have and through the stuff, right?
I write off Netflix. I write off any service that I have there. Obviously, anything like Backstage, pay to plays like Voice123, Voices.com, websites. I even have things like Production Hub. I have a small subscription with them every month. But software, Adobe is a subscription. That's a huge category of any business now. And with subscriptions, it's dues, right? Organizations that you pay to be a part of. If you guys are members of VOJ, it's the same thing. You're paying to be part of an education.
Everyone should be writing that off.
But it's also a professional organization of the industry. So that's another kind of box that it checks. So
absolutely. And singing catfish again.
Mm.
Love the name. QQQ. Any recommended sources? When you said QQQ, you made me think of the index fund. QQQ. I don't know if that was just a random. I don't know. Question. Maybe is that
maybe? Yeah.
Right, sorry, I was
That's too hip for us. This person is using way too much.
You're
Yeah,
rocking and rolling. Let's see. Any recommended resources? So resources from like, I mean, I'm assuming maybe they mean like how to learn more about, well, like what we're doing here. I mean, I think that's a resource. I would highly recommend. I have, and I'm sure I know Gabby just talked about having an assistant. I have a CPA. I have bookkeepers. I can barely handle what I do myself, let alone that stuff.
Yeah,
so I know it costs a little extra dollars, but honestly, the amount, I'm actually still surprised how cheap it costs.
Yeah.
For those services and how important they are.
Yeah.
So I would say if the recommended, I would hire a bookkeeper or a CPA or a tax accountant first. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, Turbo, like you can go to the places and everything like that. Remember, those are like pumping out. They're not like, I have a tax, like a group of people that do their business, right? Taxes, they work with small businesses and stuff like that. So I work with her. But yeah, any other resources, Gabby? I mean, I think there's a lot of YouTube videos out there. But you're going to have a lot of conflicting information because laws change.
Local chambers of commerce and anything on your local government front, they're always big on helping small business owners with taxes. And they give out all kinds of free information. They usually host events, little webinars, all kinds of stuff like that. So I think that would be really good to look into in your area.
Yeah.
But remember, that's one of the things to consider is that tax laws can change state by state. So there's a little bit of a hesitation to give out too much, from people outside of your area. Obviously, on a federal level, it doesn't change very much, but they
just released new numbers for tax brackets.
Yeah, I know.
So they changed
there's always something.
Actually, that was actually good because it went up, meaning that you could make the same amount and you didn't have to you paid less. Yeah. Anyways, I was gonna say, you might be wondering, do I need to pay taxes on my business at all? Okay. Do I need to yet even report that I have a business?
That's a good
one. When we first started, it used to be if you made anything that you did, if you made more than $4,000, you had to report it. Unfortunately, over the past, I think it was in 2021 or 2022, the Congress, they passed a bill saying that if you made anything over $400, you had to report it. So if you make anything over $400, you have to report it. Now, that's the legal requirement. What you decide to do is this is not an advice show. We're not professionals. Legally, it's $400.
Right.
Okay. I think at the time when I first started, it was $4,000. I didn't know what I was doing. So I probably didn't, I probably took me a little longer. But trust me, the government got what it got me. But I would say err on the side of caution. And no matter what you make, it's always a good idea to keep a portion of that, all right, for taxes.
Yes.
And I didn't know this until this, but you can pay your taxes any time. You can go on.
They'll take it. They'll take
money
it any day.
You can log on to IRS.gov and so you can pay every single day if you wanted your taxes.
Let me tell you something. I have seen many government websites that fail to work. That one always works.
That one always. They don't do a lot right in the IRS, but their website works.
Them. That website, that portal is always operational.
They will always take your money. State's a little harder, I will admit. Sometimes it's hard to get to the state one because they're only a lot of times the state won't take Like you have to like they'll take, depending what state you are. Virginia, I find it hard. Like you can pay what you owe in the past, but paying ahead of time is difficult.
Yeah,
IRS, man, they'll let you pay, whenever. So
for sure.
but that might be something to look into to help as well. And don't wait. Whatever you do, I guess the last I know we're over now. Even you here making me think of time. I would say maybe you give a couple of just little quick good practices.
Yeah.
My best advice to you is please, whatever you do, don't wait to do what you have to do about taxes. Like don't wait because they don't go away.
Yeah.
And it's the one thing you can't get rid of unless you have to pay death and taxes.
That's true.
I mean, that is it.
It's super true.
What about you? What is your best? What is your?
Oh, jeez. Talk to people, ask questions. Don't avoid the topic.
Yeah.
A lot of people, it is a very much like I'm going to, bury my head in the sand and do the ostrich thing. And no, because it's education that makes you powerful. It's asking questions is typically free. So ask everything. Even the IRS will say things like, well, we can't offer you tax advice.
I know. It's like, we can't offer you tax advice. We're not going to tell you how much you owe us.
But
we're not going to do anything except come after you if you don't do it.
But yet they offer tax advice. Like, so I mean, yeah, I think education. That's like anything else, right? Educate yourself and you'll feel more empowered and it'll be less scary and less stressful.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you guys, thank you so much. This is such an important topic, and I appreciate everybody because it's not always the most fun, but it's so vital. It's so vital to us running a sustainable and consistent business over time.
Heck yeah.
So, it was so good to have you back, Gabby.
Well, thank you. I'm gonna do my darndest to stay. I'm not back in the studio.
No more
yet.
surgeries.
You can see I'm reporting live from the dining room.
Writing it off.
Exactly. Can we increase the square footage?
Can we increase the square footage?
Yeah. But anyway, I'm hoping to get back into the actual studio sooner rather than later. But for the time being, I will definitely be here tomorrow for our open forum Friday.
Love it. Open forum Friday. And as always, remember, everybody, this is brought to you by VO Journey Academy. We're both Gabby and I. Angela was here. Angela teaches that. Bonnie and Melissa and a bunch of other incredible people over there. So if you are interested, as always, come and join us. We've got a lot of exciting things going on, and I'd love to have you. And Academy Voices, Gabby, you were not here, but we published over 500 audiobooks.
You did it while I was gone?
We did it while I did it while you were gone. Isn't that exciting? Yeah,
that's super cool.
We hit that mark and we're so thrilled. And this new year, I think we're going for 1,000. I think we can hit 1,000.
I think we can do it.
But I'm so proud of everybody, and so that was a cool milestone.
That's really, really cool. Yay.
All right, everybody, you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye, everybody.